Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the Analects of Confucius 5.11, where we resolve the question, what makes a person unbendable, by looking at a person who is quite bendable. And without further ado, let's get started. 5.11, the master said, I have never met a person who is unwavering in his integrity, or gang. Someone mentioned Shen Cheng. The master said, Chen has excessive desires. How could he have reached the point where he is unwavering in his integrity? So the main word here is the word gang, which is correctly translated in the context of this passage into integrity. But of course, we can look at some other meanings of this word. So gang can also be, in a physical sense, translated into any material that can resist deformation. So it can be words such as firm, stiff, some kind of steel-like metal, or just anything that is unyielding, which are things that can break rather than bend. And when applied to a person, it means integrity. So that can be things like steadfast, which is sticking to principles regardless of pressure, or persistent, or stoic, or incorruptible, which means you can't be bent by bribes or threats. And Shen Cheng was a disciple of Confucius who we know really little about, other than the fact that he is looked upon really negatively here in this passage. But he was likely physically gang, which could refer to being aggressive, stubborn, or tough on the outside. So people look at him and mistake aggressiveness, which is external, with firmness, which is internal. And upon someone mentioning Shen Cheng to Confucius, Confucius says, Chen has excessive desires. How could he have reached the point where he is unwavering in his integrity? So excessive desires refers to being absolutely addicted to the senses, such as comfort or food or etc. And the word that is most important here is excessive. So when you have excessive desires, it's kind of like you're dependent. So if I want your vote, then I have to flatter you. Or if I want your money, then I have to please you. And if I want this position, then I have to fear losing it, things like that. And by depending on things, then you'll have to bend. So when you really want something, then you'll do absolutely anything, including abandoning your principles, which is the big red flag here, to get whatever it is that you want. So really, Confucius isn't criticizing desires itself, but instead he's criticizing having too much or having desires get out of control. And as you know, Confucius really loves being directly in the middle, not too much, not too little. And so Confucius concludes that Shen Cheng can't be firm because although he may look tough, on the inside he is really structurally weak because he can fold like paper to anything or anyone that gives him whatever it is that he wants. So the big red flag here is, again, abandoning your principles or your integrity to get whatever it is that you want. And so the moral of the story is that when you're judging people, you shouldn't confuse a hard shell with a strong spine. And yeah, that'll be all today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!